DeMar DeRozan. I ain't gonna call that nigga Defrozen. Not anymore. That old fucked up name that the whole media had gave him. And see, when DeMar DeRozan initially came into the league, man, he was getting criticized then, believe it or not. Like people were, a lot of analysts and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? People, fans, all that other stuff, they were like, yeah, why he athletic, because he was athletic, coming in, dunking on people, you know what I'm saying, showcasing his athletic ability and all of that. They were like, well, is he going to improve any other aspects of his game? And so he tried to answer to the critics by doing that. He struggled a little bit when it came to trying to shoot from the outside and extend the game or on the perimeter, so to speak. Then once he got that together, he was able to get the mid range. And see, this is the thing that goes to show you that you really can't please anybody, because even when he got the mid range together, and now he's shooting more of the mid range and stuff. Well, guess what? Couldn't please everybody there, because then people were asking, okay, well, what is this guy doing? People making statements that the mid range, it's not really a high percentage shot and all of this stuff, and then there was a case of DeMar DeRozan going to San Antonio. Well, let's back it up a little bit, okay? While he was good in the regular season with Toronto and everything, then we all know the reason why they called him Defrozen was because then when he would come up facing LeBron and everything, he failed to come up in crucial situations, which all of that can't the blame can't be placed on DeMar DeRozan, because Kyle Lowry had a lot to do with that as well. Neither one of them would show up in crucial situations when it came to facing LeBron and the Cavaliers or whatnot. And they had their opportunity. So then what ended up happening, he ended up going to San Antonio. Now, this is the thing that I don't think a lot of people are giving credit to. Okay. DeMar DeRozan actually learned a lot and benefited by playing under a coach like Greg Popovich. Although he wasn't, some people don't feel like he was as successful as a San Antonio Spur. His game his game went to another level, believe it or not, because then he was able to go to Chicago, and now he's playing at an MVP level, because okay, look, I understand that Zach LaVine, he's he's seen as I guess you could say, the more, that main guy or whatever. But adding DeRozan into the mix, with a combination of Lonzo Ball, it's definitely made a huge impact. But I feel like DeMar DeRozan is playing more at the MVP level more than anybody because when DeMar DeRozan is playing, he's pretty much his points are impactful and he's getting his buckets in key moments. Now I know at the beginning of the season, I can't remember which game it was exactly. You know, they depended on him to make the shot, and I think they were going to either him or Zach Levine. But they went to him, and he failed to capitalize. But since then, Chicago has benefited off of his play. And when they played against the Lakers, which that's another thing too. I got about too. Let me stop there for a second. Now, initially was supposed to go back home and play for the Lakers, but a lot of people were feeling like they were crazy for getting a guy like DeMar DeRozan and everything like that. I'm not gonna front to you, and I'm not even gonna cap. Uh, I was like, it was a bad idea too. I can't front. Matter of fact, I forget who I think I told it. I think it was Goat Mike. Shout out to Goat Mike too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Goat. We were talking about it, and I was like, I don't know. I want to say he probably was under. He probably was thinking because I know he didn't want Damian Lillard, but because he said he couldn't go out and pick and roll, which is a good point. But I think he said he wanted DeMar DeRozan. I'm not too clear on that. But I'm gonna say this though. I didn't like it initially because I was just like, okay, I didn't see him. While I saw him as a good offensive player in terms of getting the mid range and still hella athletic and everything in spurts and stuff like that. I really felt like he was gonna be a liability defensive wise because it all comes down to defense. No matter how successful you are from an offensive standpoint, but being that he has went to Chicago, I mean his game has just went to a whole nother level. It don't even look like he's lost a step really. You know what I'm saying? Because DeMar DeRozan, he looks happier. He looks like he's not phased by anything or any any like that. So to say the least, DeMar DeFrozen has melted into an MVP level. And people actually gave up on DeMar DeRozan. You know what I'm saying? He went from okay, starting off, semi okay with the athletic ability, then being an all star, and people kind of forgot about him when he went to San Antonio, and I think that kind of motivated him. And everybody and their mama, including myself, said that Chicago. I said, look out for Chicago this year. Uh, I could name I could name like five people right off the top of my head. Which some of the LDBC brothers and some guys that I conversated with. They said, look out for Chicago, and I was one of them. People said that I was on cap. I don't know how many people said I was on cap when I said that Charlotte was going to be good because they made some key moves, but I said the franchise that had the best offseason, in my opinion, was was the Chicago Bulls. And this is another thing too. This is another thing. I think I talked about this already. Now, shout out to to antisocial. Okay. Antisocial said something, and he was on Ticket's channel one time. All right, and this is what he said. And everybody tried to they tried to go at him. You know what I'm saying, and say that he was on cap, all this other bullshit. But he said, I think a question was asked, who do you see that could play in the '90s, right? Well, he said the player that see that could possibly be a good fit for playing in the '90s right now in this era was DeMar DeRozan. Well, guess what? While people were saying that he was on cap and all this other stuff, they stole his talking point when he was, when they were. I think it was on. I forget what show it was. It was either Undisputed or First Take. It was one of them. But somebody had said the same thing. They said that DeMar DeRozan could play in the '90s. They stole his talking point because that was the only person that I heard say that. So I gotta give tip the cap to antisocial. You know what I'm saying? Because he said that, and everybody had looked at that. There were other people, talking about other players that could possibly play in the '90s, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But everybody thought that the dude was crazy. But he saw something that a lot of people didn't see. But I can understand why he did say that, because they played more in the mid range in the way that he kind of plays and stuff, like in the mid range, and being able to score. And DeMar DeRozan he plays like he could post you up and hit you with the fade with the one leg. He could catch it, triple threat, get in there, stop and pop in the middle. You know what I'm saying? And that game to me is real beautiful. If you really look at Kevin Durant, he does a lot of the same things. The only thing is that he's longer and he shoots the three a lot more. So you got to give your credit to DeMar DeRozan. This is another thing about DeMar DeRozan too. Right now that he doing Chicago Bulls. If you go and go look at the Drew League, or you go look at Rico Hines, off season, that's where I was critical of DeMar DeRozan, because I was like, man, you do all this stuff, and like he be doing some amazing shit in the off season. I'm talking about, like, damn, man, dog, you be doing this shit in the summertime, and I'll be looking for you to do this like in the regular season on a consistent basis. But the stuff that he's doing now, this is how he plays when he's in the Drew League and stuff. And so I'm happy for DeMar DeRozan. I think he's going to be playing for a long time, because I don't think he's had any major injuries or anything. So as long as he keeps his body healthy, he's going to be playing for a long time. And with Chicago, with what they got brewing now, man, Chicago, man, can really do some damage, man. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and say that they're going to be a championship team, but they're forming it together like they can be very competitive, because they're beating some good teams and stuff, and they're definitely doing their thing out there. And the combination of Lonzo Ball, Zach Levine, and DeMar DeRozan, and I don't, Vucevic, he started off rather slow, but Vucevic is starting to come on. He didn't. I think he was trying to grasp the offense, and trying to get used to the offense and everything like that. Vucevic is still can still score. He was kind of down a little bit, because I said that he was playing at an all-star level when he was in Orlando. I had told somebody that. So yeah, DeMar DeRozan is no longer DeMar DeFrozen. At least, for now, I mean, I hope that he doesn't. Let's see how he does once he goes to the playoffs, which I think that he'll. I have confidence in him that he'll arise from the stereotype that's been put or placed on him and stuff. And I'm just hoping that he can, be successful in the playoff atmosphere and when all the all the marbles are on the line. So y'all let me know what you think, man. Leave your comments, like the video, share, subscribe, and hit them notifications. Till then, man, it's Polo Sports Talking Entertainment. I'll get at you later.